already we have huge levels of complaining throughout the entire community. The discourse around him and surrounding him is just ridiculous. Um, there are two different sides to it I want to talk about. First, there's the crowd that thinks he's too good and he needs to be nerfed and all this different stuff. And then there's the crowd that is just mad about basically other people using him and them being on teams or in lineups consisting of players who are using him. Hold on. Here we go. So look, to talk about the nerfs first, okay? And this mainly came up because I was in on Reddit and I seen somebody say that he needed to be nerfed, and they were arguing their reason why, because he can do this, this, and that, and all this different stuff. And I was explaining that for anybody that feels like he is too strong and needs to be nerfed, you're gonna start getting pretty frustrated with the game here soon, because we're gonna see the same thing when Wimby comes out because of his capabilities. We're gonna see the same thing when Kyrie comes out and Tyrese Halliburton. Whenever we do finally get to Prime Rose, whenever they drop Anthony Edwards, and I'm gonna assume honestly any other guard that's not focused on like playmaking and defense, like Rondo, Chris Paul, Drew Holiday, anybody that is meant to be a scorer in this game is gonna be kind of ridiculous because it's what it is they're made to do. The counter argument that I received and what I've been seeing a lot of different people say is that there are other players that are already better than him, like SGA, D Wade, and Braun. In which case, I wouldn't understand why he needs to be nerfed. Because if they're better and they haven't been nerfed, you're going down the line here. If the top person, whoever is the best that you want to consider, isn't already being nerfed, then I don't understand why you'd expect anybody under them to be nerfed. On top of the fact that this is the global server. The Taiwan server, which, by the way, like I say in every video, anybody that needs help getting the Taiwan version, drop it down in the comments. I can help out with that. But one big point of the Taiwan server and why a lot of people on the global server still use it and pay attention to it is because we get to see what's going to happen to the game before it comes out. That's how I know that all of these other players are fairly overpowered as well. Not overpowered in a sense that they're too crazy and just game breaking and genuinely deserve a nerf, but overpowered in the sense that they aren't anything like the people we have seen added to the game before now. And not to go too deep into just common sense with business and when you're trying to make something that people want, but they're not going to release, for example, Shea, and then never have another point guard that you might be able to say is better than him. Because from their minds, if you bought Shea or did whatever you had to do to get him, you're not going to turn around and get somebody else until somebody that's better comes out. Like players like me that like to main the shooting guard positions and rarely play the other positions, I'm not buying anybody else until somebody better than Iverson, or at least more the same level or more entertaining than Iverson comes out, which I already know is going to be Anthony Edwards once he does get here. But that's, you see kind of the point that I'm making. They can't release the same level of strength on characters all the time because there would be no reason to get you to want to use anybody else. They can't bank on the idea that everybody is going to want to switch to other positions and stuff just because they get bored. So yes, they have to do what most games do. That's why we have the term power creep. It's a term because every game or most games that do releases with characters like this have this implemented, and it's meant to make sure 5 months after you start playing, a year after you start playing, whatever it's going to be, you still have incentive to go and get whatever character it is. On the other side of the nerfing situation is selfish, because first off, there hasn't been anybody personally that I've played in the game that you can't stop in some way. Yes, you might not be able to stop them completely, but you can shut down the main thing that it is they want to do. And as long as you're able to do that, which does take some skill, some time playing, and some practice, but as long as you're able to do that, I don't feel like any character should really have to be nerfed. But you have to think about the fact that all these other people, not even a regular release, this is an event release based on you inviting new people to the game. So not only all the people like me that were already saving for him, but there are a lot of people that just joined the game just because he came out and they went ahead and got him. If the devs decided this was right now, this was the time when they wanted to nerf him, they would lose hella players, which would be the complete opposite of the event that they set up to try to get people joining the game and get people to play it. Yes, some people got them for cheap by buying diamonds and stuff like that, but you can look at my shit. I didn't use not a single gem in this event thing. I didn't do no bargaining. I didn't do none of that. I had the ticket saved up for him because I didn't want a few of the last players that it came out. So any other player like me or players that went and did all the bargaining for the gems, the players that went and got the gems straight up, however it is they went about it, you would be pissing all those players off just because you are making the complaint that, oh, this character came out too strong. And then, like I said, if you have Taiwan servers, you already know he got nerfed when he first came out. But any buffs or nerfs they're going to do, if it doesn't happen on Taiwan servers first, it is very unlikely that you're going to see it on this side of the game. Meaning, if it's something that's bothering you enough to go in world chat and talk about it, or go on Reddit and post about it, or whatever it is, you might need to spend that time focusing on what you can do physically to stop this problem, rather than throwing prayers to the devs hoping that they're going to listen to the crying from a few people versus all the people who like the player that came out and are interested in the player that came out. The same complaints AI is getting right now, SGA was getting before Harden or Wade dropped. He's OP, he does too much, they need to take this, they need to take that. Then Wade came out. Oh, he's OP. He does too much. They need to take this. They need to take that. Harden comes out. Harden was downplayed a little bit, which is crazy to me, but they're not going to add a good player to the game that people aren't going to turn around and say, oh, this player's too good. When Wemby drops and they get to see how good this man is at shooting from the three, how consistent he can be on top of the defense and the rebounding and all that, it's going to be the same thing. One thing I like about this game is that they are not scared to allow players to be super strong in a sense and just making counter players. They have people in the game that are meant to be able to stop things a little bit better than, or say, another random player can. But it's still not a guarantee. And that's to make sure that everybody can have a somewhat enjoyable time on here. Enjoyable? Or just joyful? We just gonna go with joyful. Y'all get my point though. Making sure people can have a good time when they hop on here and play. If the defensive players were that crazy where they're locking up everybody without a whole lot of effort, you're not gonna see people playing the offensive players, and then you're gonna see people stop playing the game. Because what's the point? So that's my case on the nerfing goes. Like I said, it's not really nothing that we or anybody other than the devs can do about it. I would suggest, if you're somebody that has a problem with it, download the Taiwan servers and figure out which defender is the one that helps you take care of whatever you need to take care of the best. Or, like I said, just play the game long enough to know what you got to do. SGA was annoying as hell to me at one point. Now I got it down. Wade was annoying as hell to me at one point. Probably my biggest defensive assignment when trying to guard people, and I don't care about him anymore. It's very, very rare that I have issues with a D-Wade now. That's kind of the way that you got to go about this game if you want to keep playing it. Now, as far as all the people that are talking about their experience with playing with other people using AI and it just being so bad that they want him nerfed for that reason because they feel like people are dribbling too much or not passing enough on him and all that different stuff. I want to introduce y'all to a really interesting thing here, and it's available in the 11-point games too. But specifically in ranked, you can come over here, recruit teammates. You can go up here, pick whatever mode you want to be playing in, right? You can even turn on join requests so you get to see the name of whoever is trying to join your team before you join. You pick what rank you want them to be in. You can pick how many trophies you want them to have. And you can even pick which position specifically you're looking for your team. The purpose, the whole purpose of this is so that you are not going in with random teammates and having a bad experience. The amount of people that I see complain about him and then go into world chat or something like that and trash talk him after, I know most of y'all are solo queuing. I have screenshotted a couple of people who have multiple times complained, oh, all the AIs in solo queue suck. Man, playing with AI or AI dropping now, that makes solo queue so hard. I've been playing solo queue, not on this game, in a lot of different games. Rainbow Six, Call of Duty Warzone, back on Fortnite. Like I play solo queue in a lot of the different stuff I play, especially mobile games, because I don't always have somebody that I know, IRL or something like that, or in Discord or whatever, to run with. I have also understood because of this that I have to expect I'm not always going to get the best gaming experiences. There is no reason you don't get no cookie, no cake, no candy. You don't get shit for solo queuing all the way to any rank. So it really doesn't matter how you decide to go about it. You deciding to play solo queue versus playing with a team is not only in your control. Again, like I said earlier, you got to focus on the things you can do something about. That's in your control. But on top of that, they they didn't add all this in the recruitment page for no reason. Like they went out of their way to make sure that you can get put with the team that you want to be playing with and not having to play with random. So the amount of people that complain about it as if this is the only option for playing on here is ridiculous. You can look at any game, Marvel Rivals, whatever it is. It's never going to be a good experience. It's not meant to be a good experience. That's the whole reason they allow you to be able to run with a team. Solo queue is bare bones. You don't give a fuck about whether you win or lose, and you're just going in there to see how it goes. And then for everybody else, because we got people that just talk shit anyway, I've been playing on teams with niggas, and still, guess who's not the problem? At a center match with me, first thing he said when he came in was questioning me, asking me if he can trust me and shit like that. You know what he did when we got into the game? He got cooked by Karl Anthony Towns. And I understand Karl Anthony Towns, he's not bad on the game. He is a superstar, but like, come on. You're worried about me and you don't know how to play defense. That's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. I done lost games with niggas on here just because they didn't even want to pass it to me to see if I was going to pass the ball. They would rather figure out the offense themselves and then throw me the ball after they've already stumbled and it's low time on the clock. If they've made it that far, because a lot of times they were just holding the ball too long and turning it over. A lot of y'all ain't even good enough to be focused on, what other people are doing when they playing and when they messing up on the game. So, theme of the video, man, focus on the things that you can do to make the experience better for you. If you're playing flawless, you ain't making no mistakes, you guarding, locking your man up and all that different shit, then at the absolute worst case, you're eventually going to win enough games to move up your rank far enough to where you're not playing with these type of guys no more. But if you're on here keeping the complaint that you've been playing for however long and you keep running into the same issues and everything, just like every other game, you're low rank and you have to make it higher before you're going to have a better experience. Or two, you might be where you need to be. And you got to work on yourself first before you get better. Which sounds like what it's a lot of people problem is. I don't sit here and complain. You see, I'm platinum star 3. I don't sit here and complain because I know where I'm at. I know the type of people that I'm still gonna be getting right now. Shit, I seen somebody say he was what? He was in peak. He said like peak 10. Yeah, not 20 stars. He said he's like peak 10 stars, and was still getting matched with diamond and platinum teammates. So yes, it's gonna be like that sometimes. You just gotta do what you gotta do. If you really want a reason to complain, go and look at some of the other 3v3 games and look at how they are. Basket Trio, Slam Dunk, um, the Kuroko one is kind of fire. I still play that right now. But a lot of the other games didn't do a lot of good things right that these devs have knocked out the park. The resources in being able to build up multiple characters is easier on here than probably any other game I've played. Just obtaining new characters. The fact that you can come in here and put, hey, I want this person. And when you hit that amount of tickets, you get them automatically versus you having to spend on gems that give you a random chance at getting them or shit like that. Like this, come on now. They make it too easy. They make it too easy. I got like two, three different players all with superstar talents maxed all the way out. On top of that, they make sure every player is unique. It's not a new player coming out with just a passive and one new active skill. Everybody is different. No two players do the same or have the same moves. Actually, that's not true. I have seen some animations, I think, and stuff like that somewhat shared between players, but that's not like a regular thing. You feel me? And that's special because not all the games do that. And as far as, like I said, the nerfs and thinking that we have problems on our server, they have a whole test server on top of the Taiwan server. Okay. Taiwan is like our test server. There's still a whole nother actual test server they let creators and stuff use before things even come out. I promise you, stuff is not getting to this far at the bottom of the line before somebody realizes, oh, hey, this is a problem and this needs to be taken care of. And that's exactly why I said if you're somebody that's on global sitting around complaining about who needs a nerf, you're going to have a rough time on this game, buddy. So hopefully this helps y'all out more than anything. If you need teammates, which I know a lot of y'all do, drop it in the comments. I will run with you. Y'all can run with each other. We'll make a whole Discord if that's what niggas want to do. Just be a little bit more resourceful and active in making the game better for yourself. Or just stop complaining about it. Play the way that you want to play. Experience it the way that you want to experience it. And just stop complaining. Because you're choosing to go about it that way. You feel me? But outside of that, I appreciate y'all boys watching. As I say on all the videos, if you need help getting the Taiwan server, just drop it down below. Um, I'll probably show how to do it on both versions whenever I do finally get it done. But just in case I do one specifically, it would help a little bit if you drop, like if you're on Apple or Android. I know Android's pretty easy. Apple is a little bit harder. But outside of that, man, catch y'all on the next one.